Dude. You know those ones right there with the deep raspy voice. You know they have some history. Okay, let's react to this one. Then after that, Bomboy Plays. Hey, I am a fatty. I just ate. Remember, Leo? You just see. You saw me eat. Suelto, my friendo.
Anyone who's played Bully knows that the fighting mechanics leave a lot to be desired. Usually, it
That
all
is
comes
true.
down to alternating between light attacks, heavy attacks, grappling, blocking, and from time to time using your environment to your advantage.
Wee.
It's not a bad system, but once you
No.
play through a couple chapters, you're probably not going to have any concerns about using
Shush, phone.
to you. At least with regards to hand-to-hand combat. Not to mention that the game becomes laughably easy once you've unlocked all of the fighting moves. The people
My knee.
knew this, and over a decade after
Dude, I need to start losing weight again.
PlayStation 2, one of Bully's animators, Dennis Opel, uploaded a ton of short videos he put together during his time
Oh,
at
God.
Lost Rockstar Vancouver. Dennis,
Aww.
having a huge interest in video game fighting animations, at one point made a more advanced, responsive, and overall fleshed out fighting system.
Really?
That even by today's standards is pretty impressive.
Ooh, dude, that actually looks.
And pushing the analog stick in any direction, or as
Yeah, that's a dodge.
says, pushing the analog stick in any recession. would have allowed
Direction.
you to evade attacks. So if an enemy attempted to
Okay.
punch or kick you, you could have avoided getting hit by pressing circle and using the analog stick to lean back, weave, or dodge.
Why is it reminding me of the Batman Arkham, like the Batman Begins game?
To perform a heavy attack you can't successfully block, then your best bet is to back away,
Ooh.
wait for your opponent to miss, and then attack. What Dennis had in mind was for the player to dodge and then be given a chance to perform a so-called
Yeah, like a counter.
attack. This
Yeah.
method would have been far more effective as you could more easily stand your ground and not get cornered, and it would have given you a golden opportunity to immediately retaliate much more effectively. Which type of counterattack?
There's never gonna be another hijack, Leo.
Determined by how you evaded the opponent. Dodge, and Jimmy could respond with an uppercut. Weave to the left, and you could give your enemy a swift.
Ooh, I thought it looked like a punch to the wiener.
Kicks, as opposed to the very small amount of kicks you can normally do. Likewise, the type of kick Jimmy used would have also been determined by what type of evade move you just performed.
Oh, that looked like you could
The
suplex.
final game doesn't do anything in a combat situation. It would have made Jimmy perform a light but also quick punch. Holding down X would make Jimmy throw a heavy punch. And as Dennis himself described it, everything is context sensitive. What you do in response to the
So
person
frames?
fighting would affect which moves you could use immediately afterwards. Your target's stats.
So you do
current
frame
animation,
data.
and distance from you would also affect what fighting moves you use. If the opponent is really close to you, then Jimmy would be able to do an uppercut. If the opponent is having trouble staying on their feet, then you could punch down. If the opponent's leaning forward after getting hit, then you can hit them in the torso. Keep in mind, the gameplay footage you're looking at was recorded during the game's development. So at the end of this animations demo, Dennis gives some suggestions on how to optimize the game to be better suited for this fighting system. There
That actually
needs
looks
to be
pretty
a
good.
combo limit. Testing didn't include one. Instead of using predetermined
No, I don't think adding a combo limit like in a single player fighting game, I don't think they should do that. I mean, when the game gets a lot more tougher, then yeah, like when you choose a hard difficulty, I mean, that makes sense. Unless you make the character tired.
These results each time, changing the look of the encounter. These depend on the state of the enemy, what hit
No, you good,
or
you good,
animation
Karma.
node your opponent is currently playing, as well as
Dude, it reminds me a lot of the like Batman Begins like fighting style. I don't know why. Like it reminds me of that. I don't know if it's just the animation that it reminds me or what, but dude,
the distance of the target.
It would've
In
been
one
good.
Gameplay videos, he goes on to explain that instead of getting hit, playing the appropriate hit reaction animation, and then resuming
Yeah, the
player's
counter.
normal fighting state, Jimmy could quickly fight back while the animation is being played. So basically, instead of getting hit, being briefly stunned, and then resetting, you'd get hit, react, but also be able to fight back as the
Ah.
hit reaction is being played, making for a much more fluid flow of animation. So unlike the final game, your attack would not be interrupted or ignored when you get hit. Instead, Jimmy would react to getting punched, but also continue the attack animation simultaneously. Aside from
That'd be pretty
this
cool.
also added a lot to gameplay. The satisfaction and rewards can be great.
Yeah,
In terms of combat,
like a
the risk of
counter.
getting knocked out was higher, but fighting people in the game just felt better and more responsive. This also allowed the player to approach combat in different ways. You can go all in and trade blows, or go for a more strategic and defensive route. If you went for the first approach, then you could revert back to the other system by stunning your enemy with a heavy attack by holding down X. The best way to simulate fighting in a rugged nature is through brawling. It's
Yeah, just
quite
going all in.
satisfying when you're slugging it out with your target trying to best each other. Moving on, here's another cool detail I wish they kept in the game. Let's say an NPC you're fighting is performing a kick. Since they're now standing on one foot, leaving them open, you could instantly knock them out by clocking them clean in the face.
Ooh, dude, that would have been cool.
Sensitive. And to make it more fair,
A heavy attack.
Poor NPCs you're beating up, they too can more easily evade your attacks and perform counter moves. They'd ostensibly leave themselves open to get hit, but in actuality,
Oh, taunts!
the AI is no longer just using blocking and attacking.
Dude, that would have been cool.
Language to deceive you. You, the player, might think, oh,
No, dude, that would have been cool. Like pretty much a learning AI. I mean, would a learning AI actually be being possible back then? I know you could do oh, dude. Oh, that would have been cool. Oh, that would imagine the difficulty spike. If you're too good at the game says hell no. Oh.
well, this is ideal. He's open. I'm gonna go in for a heavy attack so I can do some real damage. And just as you're about to succeed, they block and do something like this.
It would make the boss fight, dude. Dude, that's what I'm saying. It would have been cool.
Close attention to what fighting stance your opponent is using, the pattern of behavior
Oh.
of the AI, and what type of fighting move you just performed. At one point, Dennis considered applying this counter move system to the player. It's a
Dude, you know that-
none of this made it to the final version of the game. Back in 2006, a lot of people found Bully's combat system to be simple but also well executed in some areas. Animations were praised, but
No,
controls were regarded as being standard. Having the
But it would have been all
fighting
cool. Yeah, the fighting mechanics like that.
combat so much more interesting.
Oh.
This is all speculation on my part, but I think all of this getting removed came down to either mission design, one of the demographics Rockstar was aiming to sell the game to, or simply Rockstar Vancouver not having enough
No, I don't think they had enough development time.
with proper optimization. A lot of the missions, like the tenements for instance, consist of you making your way through tons of enemies. Although fights would have been more immersive, it's possible that playtesters found it exhausting to pay so much attention to each individual.
No, but at the same time, dude. Dude, the combat system would have been good. They could have ganged up on you, but you had to strategize. Oh, dude. Oh, that would have been so.
Character they had.
Ah.
Bully, unlike GTA, was intended in part for a somewhat younger audience. Having such
I'm just thinking about it. It's like that would have been so cool.
For younger players to master. And of course, there are a lot of kids out there who could easily defeat me or just about anybody else in a fighting game. But let's be honest, most kids suck at video games. Since Rockstar
Yeah, not
was
in
for
yeah.
fighting, they knew a lot of squeakers would be playing Bully. And like I've mentioned many times in prior videos, Bully's development time ended up being heavily rushed.
Yeah.
Drastically making such huge changes to a core aspect of the game would have required other developers to adjust many other areas of the game so as to eliminate any possible technical issues or sudden changes in difficulty. Again, this is all just
Wrench at the nerves.
Speaking of which, what do you think happened? And do you think Bully would have been better off including these fighting mechanics? I know I do. Let me know what you think in the
Oh,
comments
that would have
below.
been so
Hey,
cool.
Brad, you made it to the end of the video. Congratulations. I'm proud of you. I'm literally clapping
He's
right now.
proud of us.
Monetized videos
Yay.
about fighting in a game called Bully is, as you'd expect, an uphill battle.
Like
if you can
that,
show me
like
some
that.
love for making this video, please consider sending me a donation via the link down below in the video info. I do live streams every Saturday at 8 p.m.
Nah, speedrunning the game.
So please consider joining me this Saturday at 8 p.m. CET. I will be reading any donations that I get from this video at the
Ah. Well, again. But dude, remember, like again, wasn't Bully like really rushed out of the market right there? Like how long? Like let me see. 'Cause, Uh-huh. Yeah, like that's what I'm reading right now. Like I went to Reddit right there. They did right there. It's like, damn, dude, like that would have been so cool. Now again, now imagine a Bully 2. What if I know the same developers aren't right there. But dude, there's a lot of good games that get rushed. I mean, I understand why they have to rush the games, but at the same time, they shouldn't rush. Like, the third Bully Iceberg explain. I don't want to click on the Bully Iceberg. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole again.